Alright ladies, you ever see a situation where your man seems to want to eliminate all other men out of the equation? What is that? Where does that come from? Well, it's today's lesson. The Highlander Rule. Let's get it in. Now hold up, wait a minute before we get into the actual lesson. Take a moment to make sure you subscribe to the channel so that way the algorithm knows what's up, so that YouTube knows you want to watch this, and you should tell everybody. We are a new channel here, and our goal is to have 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So do what you do, subscribe, throw thumbs, spread the word. Alright, now the lesson. Bang, bang. So what is the Highlander Rule? Highlander was a series of movies and a television show that was based on a group of people that were immortal who would get together and fight to the death, basically. Now, when an immortal was near another immortal, they could sense each other when another immortal was nearby. So sometimes they got along and sometimes they didn't. And they would have different rules that governed how they dealt with each other. Now, they were immortal, but there was only one way that they could kill another immortal, which was sword fight, decapitation. Yeah, it's a fun show. But anyway, out of all the rules that governed how they operated with each other, the most important rule that they lived by is there can be only one.
There can be only one. There can be only one. Remember that rule?
There can be only one.
So that's where the rule gets its name. Men, by nature, live by this rule. So yes, ladies, if you see us tripping when another pair of nuts comes into the room, if you see us wanting to eliminate other men, and we're going to go into the explanation, but it is a primal, animal thing. It is very much a part of our instinct, our nature. And you can actually see this in nature. You can see it in mammals and in birds. In a wolf pack where there's one alpha wolf at the top of the pack, or in birds like, I don't know, chickens, where there's literally one rooster for the entire hen house. He don't even want any other dude up in there. So it is very much a part of our animal instinct. Now this is tied heavily to our territory rule as men. I'm not going to get into the territory rule right now. It's going to be a whole separate video about the territory rule. But really quick, let's just say territory is anything classified as mine. This is my this, my that. Anything where a dude could be like, this is mine, that's territory. And it pops up in a few different ways. And we're going to talk about that. But just think of it is that we don't like to share. There are some exceptions. There are ways and in areas where we can as men share. But for the most part, nah son, we ain't sharing. You gotta be someone who's either literal family or family-like, where you have to be a part of the inner circle for us to share certain things with you. And if that's not you, if you don't fall into that category or of family or family-like, and even then, it might not apply to you, nah, it's going to pop up. So here's some of the few ways that it might pop up for you. As the woman watching the man and as a man watching this going, yeah, I be feeling that. Explain, because I don't have the words. So, gentlemen, you can show your ladies this video and I'll explain it for you, all right? So you see it with the male friends you have. Ladies, this is about you. If you have male friends, you will probably see your man trip. Now, occasionally, there will be dudes who will either A, be assimilated, or they have been taught to let go a little bit of that kind of thing of like, oh, I don't care if my girl has guy friends, but it's still something he's going to feel. He's going to feel that territory feeling of, why is this other pair of nuts around my wife? Why is he around my girl? Who is this dude? What is he doing? Now, there's other videos I've made as the reasons as to why another pair of nuts might be around your girl. But that is a way. ladies, you will see it pop up if there's another guy who's your guy friend. Moving swiftly along to the next one, which might be surprising to you ladies when you see it happen. You're like, I don't understand. Like, why is this? This is not even like a guy friend. You might see it with your own family members. So it might be your dad, your brother, your uncle, your cousin. Your male family members will be feeling this from your dude sometimes. It might pop up. Because in this case, the Highlander Rule is not just about like, oh, I'm worried about my girl getting took. This is about his territory as a man. So if your dad or your brother or your uncle or your cousin is encroaching upon that territory, he might feel as a man, why? Why is this other dude here? So one good example of what I mean when I say your man might trip when your dad or your brother or what other male family member you have is encroaching upon the territory, and obviously it has nothing to do with you getting taken as a woman. But let's say, I don't know, when your man is out at work and he's come home and your dad is fixing the faucet. Your man might be like, whoa, why is he doing that? Or it's a situation where your dad is giving parenting advice, talking about how you should discipline your kids. And this is specific to if your man has said, I'm going to fix the sink, but then your dad comes over to fix the sink, or he's like, I think we should put Junior on timeout or punishment, or Junior's going to get grounded for this amount of time, and your dad's like, no, we're going to handle it this way. If your man feels like, who you following? You following me or you following your dad? You following me or you following your brother? You following me or you following your cousin? If it starts to cross over into this other pair of nuts is taking your man's job, that's a thing, ladies. That is a thing. Highlander Rule will kick up into his head and he will think and feel there can be only one. There's only one pair of nuts you gonna follow. Is it me or is it him? Who you married to? Who you with? Me or him? Even the Bible says you cannot serve two masters. And I'm not saying your man is your master, but I am saying if you're going to follow a person, you can't have your father and your man on the same level. You can't have your brother and your man, your cousin and your man. No other man should or could be on the same level as your man, as your husband, because the Highlander Rule will apply. He will feel it. You are taking his job, his status, his pedestal, you are taking it away. And just real quick, ladies, you wouldn't like it if it was you. You wouldn't like it if his mama was on the same level as you, would you? All right then. It's not like it doesn't go the other way sometimes too. And along the same vein, ladies, you'll see it with your own sons. Yeah, that's a thing. Some of you might be in that situation right now where you see your husband and your son kind of getting into this whole like battle beef challenge for manhood in the house kind of a situation. Or you don't understand why your husband's saying stuff like, nah, he's about to be 18. Yeah, he needs to be up out of here. Because again, if it's a situation where this little dude starting to grow a little bit, starting to get a little taller, starting to try to look dad in the eye and be like, what's up? That is a thing. There are many, many stories from both sides of the fence where as a young boy, when you start to grow up, you start to go through puberty, you start to physically grow, you start to have certain circumstances and things start to happen in your life, you start to feel yourself a little bit. You start to feel your manhood. You start to feel your power. Start to do things like go to the gym and lift and join sports and get girls, and you start to feel like you're a grown-up. And the thought pops into your head sometimes of, I think I could take the old man. But then on the other end, your husband, your man, he knows this. He knows what's going on. He knows what's happening. It either went through his head or he could see it in your son looking at him from across the room. I love this story, actually. Tracy Morgan has a great story about this where he talks about how his sons are looking at him like they're trying to take him out. That's a thing, ladies. And just to throw some extra information on the situation right now for you, this is one of the ways in which life is slanted in your favor, ladies. If you're a girl and you grew up, you're 18, 19, you can stay at home pretty much. You could be 45, 50 years old, and your parents, at least from your dad's perspective, there might be some exceptions, but for the most part, he has no imperative to kick you out of the house. You could stay for as long as you want. If you're a man, though, your brother, though, the boys, though, they probably gotta go. They not only on their own will feel it, but dad of the house will be like, nah, these little mofos gotta get up out. They be thinking they got a little hair on their nuts. They think they're a man. All right, go, son, go get your own territory. Go build your own kingdom. Go do your own thing. We need to push you out of the nest so that you're not sitting here trying to take my throne. No, go build your own. You can come back. We love you. Yeah, your room's still here, temporarily until I turn it into a gym. But for right now, get your ass out of that house. It's a thing. So just to recap real quick, ladies, there can be only one. You might see this a few different areas of your life. You might see it in your man when he's like, yeah, the boy's 18, girl. No, he needs to go. He's graduated from high school. He's going to go to college. He's getting out of the house. Or you might see it in a situation where it's like, your brother's been sleeping on the couch for like 2 months. When is he going to get a job and get the hell out my house? He's got to go. Or you might see it with your guy friends. What you mean your guy friends, your gay friends are going to come over to hang out? Yeah, no. Girl, I don't care if they're gay. He could be gay, straight, purple, green. He's another pair of nuts eating my food in my... Get him out. Get him out.
The fucking rude house guest that's sitting on my couch, giggling with my wife, eating my motherfucking macaroons. And I come in, they act like the party's over. Hey, Stuart, what's going on? This guy talks to me the way a cat would speak if a cat could talk. Hi, David.
It pops up, ladies. We don't care. We don't care. We just have this instinct, this feeling, this need to get him gone. All right? So there will still be love there, depending on the situation. There will be some exceptions. But for the most part, try not to trip on your man. And it sucks, ladies. I know this. The next thing I'm about to say. The solution for this, for the most part, you gotta give in. Yeah, I know. It's your house too. I know it's your house. It's your brother, it's your son, you love him. It's your friend, yeah, okay. There will be some compromise, obviously. But you gotta respect your man's need for solo territory. To be the only rooster in the hen house. Or if you're going to have guy friends come over, yeah, you can have compromise on how many times a week or whatever. And if they're going to come over at all, hopefully it's not like a zero tolerance that you have to deal with, ladies. But for the most part, you got to respect the man's feelings. And if this is too difficult for you, if you're like, well, that's not fair, just remember, there are many, many videos already in existence and a bunch that are coming on the way where I've already described the ways in which the world is slanted in your favor, where your desires, whether ridiculous or not, whether it's instinctual or it's just something you want because you just are bored, where we as men have to give in to you. And this is one of those areas where you should really give in to the man's animal, satisfy his animal. Because if you satisfy the man's animal, you satisfy the man. And I know it's not easy, especially if you're like, it's not fair. Like I said, you can have the conversation and talk. Compromise. But for the most part, ladies, you're going to have to give in a lot with this. It's not even something that we're consciously thinking about oftentimes. This is a primal instinct tattooed on our soul kind of a thing as men. It's just how the game go. And yes, it's going to be a difficult conversation. You're not going to get everything you want all the time. It's not the same as when you first got with the person. Because as you know, Acquisition is elementary. Retention is hard. Now that's the end of today's lesson, and as all the lessons here, they're mostly free, but you gotta pay a small fee in the form of a thumb. Doesn't matter whether you thumbs up or thumbs down, just let a brother know whether you love it or hate it, alright? Like I said, we're a new channel here, so throw those thumbs, share these videos, tell everybody. And I know you love this information. You love learning about men and how men think and what you need to do as a woman. And men, you like this too. So come on back, click on another video. Until next time, deuce deuce.